Oh boy, we're back. We're back and better than ever. You're back and better than ever. Let's play some Battle Brothers. Last we left off, the team was ramping up in the south by getting Arena Fighter on a couple of my lower resolve Spear Bros that needed a little secondary patching. They are just simple rat catchers at all. After all, they have not yet been steeled by combat. Got some decent nimble gear on a few brothers. We got a couple Chads in training. Given that this is going to be another frontline gunner, I should have labeled him as such, even though he won't be as good as a Kibio. Should still get him a gun, considering Nixlarfs also will need firearm mastery, and so he'll need a gun. I suppose what that means is I need to get a little bit of money here in the south before I depart, or I find a way to make some cash and then just come back. I guess that would be fine. I also could, of course, get, you know, a Goblin Impaler or whatever and use that as a stopgap before I come back for a handgun. That'd be fine. I also want to consider taking some opportunistic raiding here against this noble faction in the center of the map, so we can complete our ambition. Don't want to sit on this one too long. Don't like to sit on any ambition for too long. We got the scout on the lookout, so we're in good shape from that regard. Do still have a couple bros I want to replace, or I should say train up a highborn. I think will be something I want to do for a couple. We also want to get the at least first caravan upgrade here soon. Even though I typically want to avoid fighting nomads in too much, you know, after day 40, it's still fine to do so. It's just hard for that to be as profitable because dodge is so effective, especially for the Spear Bros. So I think the plan will be, let's loop through here, see if we can take some opportunistic fights, stop by Al-Hazred, and then, I don't know, just sort of explore these middle sections of fog, and then head up and raid this noble faction. I think that'll be the plan. It's an okay plan. It's a good enough plan. Lots of cutthroats and an outlaw. That'll be a nice fight. Want to do it before nighttime if we can. I think we got it. It's their single outlaw. Okay. Yeah, spears seem to be doing pretty good. They're making it so that I'm not really risking losing any tools, or many, I guess. There's still weapon durability to consider, but that's practically nothing. Guess I'm still using ammo, of course, which has a meta cost. Meta in this case meaning like outside of battle, that's what I mean by it. Gotta define your terms, you know. It's important. Got him. Run him down. Okay. Nice little fight. And I'm like, hey, Manifest Destiny's child, hello, hello. How's it going? We just started up. I've got a knack for rolling these +1s. I have mentioned I'd like a little bit of fatigue to work with on these shield fatigue neutrals. Somewhere around 105 is kind of the minimum. Getting just above it might feel nice. I'll just do that now. We'll grab Colossus. Sir Humpbert, getting nimble. You love to see it. We'll just replace his armor straight away. I know, a lot of +1s. It's a shame. Do I take this +1? +1 melee defense. This one I'm on the fence about. In fact, I'm on the fence about that +4 resolve that I just clicked on because it was a big number. This guy's got better secondaries, but I will need, again, I think it's kind of like the whole front line needs a little bit of fatigue. Even on my spear bros, like 105 or so, unless they've got unless they got iron lungs, then they can get away with less. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was right. But those are the buttons I clicked on. I could see it going either way. But given that this is the run of +1s, I'm happy to have the frontline gunner, because that is a build that, you know, it kind of needs a little bit of everything. So the allocation can be flexible, and we say if there's a +1, who cares? We'll just put the points in some secondaries because we will need them. Alright, we'll fight more outlaws, even though they've got dodge. Sort of sucks, but yeah, it'll be fine. Oh yeah, and this guy got nimble. He's fine. Puts this guy at 40% nimble, that's works for me. The last few runs have all had a theme indeed. I feel like every run has been accidentally thematic. Yes. Bros for hats. That was, Hey, Blackfire. Hello, hello. To slurg or not to slurg, apparently, right now, we slurgin'. This run is indeed +1s. Oops, I just didn't have that guy move at all. Bro turnover. That is the kindest way of phrasing that you possibly could have. They turned over in their graves. Yeah, Blackfire is indeed here, 2 streams in a row. How delightful. Yeah, the obituary was an encyclopedia, which was ironic because no one on the team knew how to read, so we just threw the black book away. You found a one-handed flail famed, max damage and chance to hit head. Should you build a bro around it? I mean, yeah, max damage. I would sure think so. It won't be, you know, it's not as exciting of an item as, you know, some other things might be. But I feel like max damage is always worth building around on basically every item. Is that even true? It's probably true. No, it's even worth it for a bow. I think it probably is anyway. Yeah, one-handed flail is pretty rare. I think not building them is sensible. At least not building them, you know, in a typical run. Maybe is a better way of putting it. You've done Flail Duelist and been pleased. Yeah, and it's probably better than I'm giving it credit for. Because yeah, by the time you get Duelist, you know, Duelist is such a huge damage boost to so many weapons, flails of course among them, that I'm sure it performs well. Well, do you even need Headhunter with the one-handed flail though? I'm not sure, because you have additional chance to hit head, of course, and you'll take Flail Mastery, which for the one-handed flail, I don't know. You definitely take Headhunter 100% of the time on the two-handed flail. I'm not convinced you necessarily need to on the one-handed, because you have an ability that just hits the head. So it's kind of like fatigue savings with Headhunter, because you can use whatever that ability's called. Hail? And the other one's called Lash? Something like that? Can't remember. What is the ability called? I should be able to check here on my three-headed flails. Hail and Cascade. Well, yeah, so it's not Cascade. You'd probably still Headhunter. I suppose. Hail's really expensive fatigue-wise, right? Yeah, exactly. You can use Lash. Or what is it called on the one-handed? Do I have a one-handed flail? Whatever the ability's called. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the build probably looks something like this, only instead of Spear Mastery, obviously have Flail Mastery. And then pick up Duelist. From there, I mean, I feel like you've got a lot of choices. Berserk, Fearsome, Killing Frenzy, Headhunter, Dodge. There's a lot of choices. Yeah, you have a Headhunter confirm button. That does seem good. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I think you probably do want Headhunter. Because if you're able to use the secondary attack to set up a guaranteed headshot on a regular attack, that's probably pretty dang good. Yeah, and you'll definitely need high stamina, for sure. I feel like, when you say BF bro though, I feel like if you're gonna make a Flail Duelist, to make it effective, you really need a lot of stamina, and I have a hard time believing you'd be able to make a Forge bro with that, unless it's like a wild man. I don't think you'll need recovery. I'm kind of an anti-recovery person though. Most fights tend to basically be over by the time you would need to use recover. Yeah, I'm probably as anti-recover as it gets. So, this is not the streamer to ask if you should get recover, unless you want the answer to be no. I just hate missing out on a turn. Ooh, there's the Sunken Library. Let's see, I wonder if El Hazred still has ambush trade routes. Recover in a bottle, K Kona. You're talking about the second wind potion? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I view it. Second wind potion can handle the situations where you've got a big fight where you need the additional fatigue, because those are pretty rare, actually. I am HO. Let's sell basically all this stuff. Don't think I need those spears. I might do a hunt what terrorizes to see if we can get hyenas. We can. Good. Delightful. And here's the taxidermist. So I previously mentioned I do want large powder bags actually, and I do also want hyena fur mantles. I'm about to fight more hyenas, so let's go ahead and just spec this, or not spec this, craft this. And I might just put it on the assassin's robe. This guy's got dodge. Pretty good. It'd also be nice, this particular armor and attachment would be good on the initiative bros, which is just one? Just one. Good old Nixlarfs. And I think it will only be one. Nine Lives Colossus, Pathfinder, Gifted, Mastery, Duelist, Killing Frenzy, room for 2 more perks. That seems about right. No, hyenas are still here. We've mostly been fighting snakes. I hate fighting snakes. Squiggly lines. I'd rather fight these weird angry dogs. Okay, I've got the team pretty covered. There's only 2 hexes, I guess a third, where they can jump in. I could shore that up and make it just the 1. That might be better. Yeah, I think I agree with Manifest Destiny's Child's selections thus far. I think that's a good set of core perks. Of course, a lot of it is bro and situation dependent, etc., etc. But generally speaking, those look pretty good to me. Hopefully. Yeah, Nimble Duelist plus Headhunter. I mean, it doesn't need to be fancy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Says the guy with all these hipster builds. Anyway. Generally speaking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but, you know. Also, as soon as you start collecting named weapons, you know, you've got a lot more flexibility as for what works, because named weapons just make stuff work, you know? They make other stuff effective. So, yeah, you can post the bro. Yeah, we're cooking a whole 5-course meal this run. True. We've definitely got some things we're cooking. Oh damn, this bro is beautiful. Okay, but you already took Forge. Okay. Wish I could put this on stream. I'd have to figure out sharing my internet browser and meh. He does have a ton of fatigue. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know how I'd build this guy. He's incredible. Incredible. But yeah, I mean, this is like a complete and utter Chad. Absolutely mind-bogglingly good. However, I don't know that... does the weapon have to go to him? Yeah, I think you just commit to your initial vision. I don't think you try to shoehorn the flail in here, because the flail's just got... it just has such a high fatigue cost. Even with a bro with that much fatigue, you're never gonna... once you have heavy armor equipped, you just... you know, the heavy armor kind of requires a few other defensive perks to be effective. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you find a different bro for that weapon. Not that this bro wouldn't be effective, because he's like insane. but I think the weapon almost holds that bro back, if that makes sense. That's my take anyway. Exactly, yeah. That bro could hold a butter knife and be good. It's true. So would I rather craft a large powder bag, 2 of them, I guess 3 of them. I'm gonna have 3 gunners, I suppose. Do I just craft the large powder bags now? All right, whatever. Let's do it. We're cooking. Let's get some large powder bags here. All right, and then Nixlarf is gonna be another one. Doesn't have the gun yet, but that's okay. I think XJI, I'm just gonna make a plain Jane thrower. Could give him a gun still, I guess if I really wanted. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so Heartbird is going to be another one of our frontline gunners. I think 3s and 2s, I think if we're 1 away from max in our primary stats, I think we still just take them. We definitely still need some secondaries, but we're only going to take those secondaries if we low roll any of our, you know, three primary stats for this build. So on this particular build, if I roll a +1 in melee skill, or a +2 in ranged attack, or a +1 in melee defense, we're going to allocate it towards the secondary. But if we don't, I think we just allocate them just like so. And we'll grab Colossus. Keep him injury-free and a little bit safer. Friso, Spear Duelist. We'll do in the same way we did with Final Overdrive, same order. We'll grab Duelist. Oof, more +4s. Beautiful. And we still need to patch up his resolve a little bit. He's pretty good now with the 5 arena wins and the Nox Era necklace, but we'll put the +4 there. Get him over that 50 resolve hump that I think bros just tend to be a lot more reliable once they're past that. XJI. Let's get him Duelist. He's got throwing mastery, so... And we've got another Hyena Fur Mantle to put somewhere. We'll put it on maybe one of our 80 and 80 durability, -8 fatigue chest pieces. Maybe. Or I could put it on like a basic male shirt. He's got pretty low hit points, so running with more body armor centric makes sense. Yeah, I think we'll do that, and then we'll swap these two bros in there. Setup. You're gonna try no fearsome run? You feel like you're committed to it? Yeah, I mean, the thing about fearsome is like, it shows its power in big fights against like orcs and goblins, but fearsome is such a because it's at the very end of the perk tree, and because it tends to be especially effective like on some weapons but not others and things like that, you could do a whole run with no fearsome and be fine. I mean, my last run, I think I didn't take it very much. I only had it on a few bros, which is very atypical for me, but we made it work without. Alright, well I spent a bunch of money, so I guess buying a handgun got further out of reach, but that's fine. We crafted some nice stuff. Alright, well I might head up to Dornheim. Maybe take out this Jagged Blades garrison over to Wallstein or something like that. And then head up and pick on this noble faction. It's time they got what's coming to them, you know? We were poaching in their lands, then we poached their caravans, and then they were mean to us. They attacked us back. We can't forgive that. So we'll go after them. Ooh, more hyenas. Hell yeah. Definitely will chase hyenas. 6, not very many, but like I said, we will chase hyenas, even if it's not very many. Yeah, noble genocide incoming? I hope so. That was like, what, 2 runs ago, where I had essentially committed a genocide. And then I went through their territory and was like, where are all their armies? They were all dead. And it was where the militia was from. It's true. It's true. It was the original faction where the militia was from, but it was a little bit of a Ship of Theseus kind of problem. Was our militia really from there when they all died and got replaced? You know? Like, can we really still claim that that's where they were from? I don't think so. The old Ship of Theseus. When you want to be pretentious, you reference the Ship of Theseus. Pro tip. That's the ship that, like, all of its parts got replaced. Last run was truly one of a kind. Yes. Last run was special. It was definitely highlighting the power of peasant militia, making quite the recovery by sheer numbers, as peasant militia do. Oh, I chased these hyenas and didn't get a single pelt. That's all right. We kind of got lucky with the last fight, getting 6 of them. We don't have to stop by Dornheim. I can skip over them and just head to Wallstein here. Want to make sure I've got enough food and everything, but I think I'm okay. But yeah, last run, after the tragedy at Hollow Bones that made the whole thing go off the rails at day 10, it was pretty sketchy there for a little bit. Alright, we got some marksmen, many raiders on a hill. That's probably why I skipped it the first time. But we can do it now. Should be okay. They will certainly consider themselves to have ranged advantage, because they got all sorts of bows, and arrows, and crossbows, and bolts. And throwing weapons. Alright, so let's get bros with shields moving forward. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about, hiring vagabonds, but buying a leather tunic. I think it's the first time probably the first time I've ever done that. Kind of forgot about that. I'm a little worried for that dog there, but also be worried about a bro in that location. He'll probably be okay. Make a playlist of that run and post it on Reddit. I do have playlists for all of them. So each time I stream, after each stream, shortly thereafter anyway, I immediately upload the VOD onto YouTube, onto a new playlist for each origin. They will run you out of town. Let them. Reddit's a special place anyway when it comes to Battle Brothers. Yeah. It's funny because Reddit is, you know, in a sense, it's like an echo chamber of ideas that they all got from Some Weird Sins, who's a very effective player, of course. But he had a very particular way of playing. I mean, he's not dead, even though he got hit by a car and almost died. Anyway, you know, they're like an echo chamber for his ideas. It like finally worked. He beat it into him, but now they do it to the point where they don't understand the motivation for it even, it doesn't seem. So there's a lot of nonsense that gets peddled like right next to his advice in a way that just isn't, I don't know. Reddit is a weird place when it comes to Battle Brothers. It really is. Yeah, you know, honestly, that emote is about right. Your playstyle is literally copy-pasted from Sins. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of playing. Like, no denying that. He's got some, like, great ideas. But I think he spammed gladiators so much as an origin that a lot of his play advice is based around that origin, kind of, I think, sort of accidentally. You know, it's easy to build around Catals when you start with one. And you start out with like a perfect Catal bro in Viper. Yeah, I don't think Gladiators is a particularly hard origin. I could be wrong in that assessment. Sins thinks I am. I don't think I am. Yeah. I saw the Catal bro. I mean, there's not. Hey, Catals are. There's. When you learn how to pilot them, they're very effective. And when you can pair them well with, you know, with maces so that they can get death blow, they'll put out some serious damage. Nothing's gonna out DPS them. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the rationale is for them deciding the skulls of the origin. Because there's definitely a few other instances where I think their prescribed skull strength is not quite right. I can't think of which one off the top of my head. I'd have to look through them, but there are a few. I remember thinking that when I looked through the list, when I was sort of thinking about this particular run series and what would and wouldn't be difficult. I did a little bit of, you know, kind of analysis, just looking at what might pose challenges, and I didn't feel like I agreed with the skulls universally anyway. Lone Wolf feels easy, you get that Giga Chad, you don't have to pay. I think it's like, if you play Lone Wolf where you start out playing FedEx Boy, you know, starting out that way, it's not too hard to progress into some serious power. Beast Slayer seems wrong at 3 skulls and Poachers at 2 skulls also. Yeah, because I think of Poachers as being basically the same as the starting origins difficulty-wise. Maybe a little bit harder because they don't start out with quite as much money from an economic standpoint. And the bros are a little bit worse. Less balanced anyway. But yeah, Beast Slayers at 3 skulls. I mean, the economy is more difficult. That does matter. But I agree. I agree that both of those are 2 that seem wrong. I think I'd put Poachers at 1 skull and Beast Slayers at 2. Gladiators at 2. I think Northern Raiders is also 3 skull. Probably should just be 2. Deserters is the hardest. I think Deserters is the one I'm most afraid of personally, by far. You can get away with 7 skulls day 1 if you skill Dren. Yeah, if you skill a Dren and you fight in the forest and you get lucky. And you can. So, Lone Wolf I think is spooky. IMHO. Yeah, fighting like in the forest where you get like choke points. That's pretty key. All right, Nixlarf's here. He's gonna get a gun. Finally, it's happening. Nixlarf's, congratulations. You're a gunner now. Let's get that gun rolling. Pop that on over there. We've got our overwhelmed gunner up and operational. Ooh, didn't quite make it before nightfall. How much food do I have? 5 days of food. And some of it is strange meat. So they'll let that spoil without eating it. Well, that's fine. We're gonna go, there's a road going here. Let's see what's there. And then we'll be on a road and ready to raid some caravans. That's the plan, anyway. Oop. Many raiders and a brigand leader. Wonderful. Should be another good fight for us. Leader's just got a war brand. Not a very good weapon. That high ground spot I was going to take. Shoot the gun at just the one guy? Sure. we'll bring Nyx larfs all the way here, because we can send Friso. Oh, I shouldn't have done that with Final Overdrive. Whoops. That was a waste. Well, whatever. And I'll attack here just for the overwhelm. Apparently, literally just for the overwhelm. Our mule almost bit the dust there. Blast him. I may very well say blast him every time I attack with a gun from now on. We'll see. The Scourge of Kalashime, quite vulnerable to simple throwing weapons. Oh no, you don't. For what you did to Kalashime, you shall be punished. I don't even know what you did, but it can't be good. One has to imagine you don't get the name The Scourge of Kalashime for no good reason. Hey, Bijante. How's it going? How's stuff and things? Alright. Easy fight against some briggies. Not much of a leader of that gang. The funny thing is, we took bags and belts immediately as I replaced this guy, and then we had some folks go out of commish. So now I've got to put him back in. Let's get some nimble armor on him. How are the off-meta bros doing? Good. So far, so good anyway. We've definitely got, we're cooking this run. We've got some stuff going on. And is it good? Is it bad? Who knows? Who cares? We're doing all right. I eventually do want to get this guy a warhammer. And then we'll get hammer mastery. So let's go forge for now. No need to put the cart before the horse. We don't have the warhammer yet. And we could do like a military pick. That would be fine. They're okay, but they're kind of bad. So okay. We'll continue our journey of seeing where that road is going. We will need more ammo at some point. Pit stopping for the easy fights along the way. Some wiedergangers. Given the low ammo, I am going to only shoot the shots in the chamber, and we'll let the spears largely take care of the rest. There should be an auto win button for this kind of ruins. Yeah, a Total War style auto resolve. Only you look at the result of it, and then it has a bro getting injured, and you're like, I could do better than that. So you don't accept the auto resolve and you play out the battle anyway. That's how I play Total War games anyway. Black Fire bringing the old spear walls. You love to see it. I said I was going to save ammo, and I kind of am, because the handguns don't use that much. But I can't resist the big, tasty handgun blasts. They're too juicy, too tasty, scrumptious. And now I think I can just finish him off the old-fashioned way, I'm sure. Eventually. Get 'em, dogs. Get 'em. Sick 'em. There we go. We got some fancy spoons. You never know when you'll need some fancy spoons to eat a fancy meal. You know, cook up some of that strange meat, put it over rice. Take something you don't expect, put it over rice, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, thank someone for their suggestion, and move on. Alright, Tannenweiler is here. They hate us here. Good. We hate them too. And is that an end of the road, or is that a road that keeps going? It's hard to tell through the forest. We can peek on the other side anyway. Kind of just wandering around the map a little bit. Exploring. Learning. Scoping out the scene. Seeing what's out here. You never know what you'll find. Previously we found a golden goose, you know? That's pretty great. Who knows what we'll find? Probably the water wheel that we'll ignore from then on. But you know what? We'll have found it. That could be a good fight. Let's peek on this mountain quick. Final Overdrive. Just hanging out. Doing some, casual weaving. Makes us a net. Thank you, Final Overdrive. Sharp Blades Ambush. We'll take out the camp first, then we'll cycle back for maybe those brigands. Though maybe they're far enough away I don't bother at this point. Again, I think this is a fight where I'm not going to use the throwing weapons at all. I'm going to conserve the ammo. Here we go. That'll work. Easy indeed. That was a pretty pitiful little camp. But they had amber, they had beer, and they had money. Good for them. They've got all they could need. All I've got is water. But I do enjoy water. And I got a couple of these kettle hats from the fight against the wiedergangers a moment ago. That's probably worth putting on alongside the -8 fatigue to replace the nasal helmet. We'll go to 41% nimble, but I think the extra head protection is, the extra just armor period is probably better. It might be the only bro I do that on. Yeah, it's looking like it. Well, I could give this guy a padded kettle hat. That's probably better. And then this guy can have a kettle hat. Yeah. Look at that. Look at me go. I'm doing little incremental armor upgrades, making the team just a little bit stronger. You never know when it'll matter. All right, Akibio here. We rolled the +1 here, so we're gonna skip it and patch up a secondary. He's got a ton of resolve. Well, he's got a good amount of resolve. I mean, he's got 51. So I'm inclined to take hit points here, even though it's a +3. That's still good enough for me. So we'll need to take quick hands, and so we will. Cool story. I did it. And we'll get him a reach weapon and a big chunk in melee weapon. Let's see, I want to get to this stone citadel, because that's probably a pretty good place to sell stuff. About the best we're going to find here in the north, it looks like. And we can get a little bit of money, and we're going to need to stock up on ammo, get some tools. I don't know if we'll be able to get there before nighttime through these mountains. Hard to predict exactly what the pathing will be. Well, no, I think we'll get there. Probably. Yeah, definitely gonna get there. It's not even dusk. Could pick up a rondelle here at this weaponsmith. Help in situations where we want to dagger down some enemies. Let's see what's for hire. Reasonably priced hedge knight. Also a gravedigger for very cheap. Gravediggers are often excellent. And here I think we're just gonna sell most of this stuff. We'll hang on to a couple powder bags just in case we run out of ammo on the field and need to replace them. And I think I've got enough nimble armor sets kind of equipped on some of our mules, our armor stands. So I don't think I need to keep anything. Let's see, do I want to keep any of these nasal helmets? Or an extra boar spear? I might keep, I've got a couple extra boar spears, I don't need them. Extra nasal helmet might be nice to hang on to replace one that gets broken. But otherwise we can clear out the inventory. Left us with $5,000 dues. We'll take a peek at a gravedigger. It's cheap. We've got pretty high standards now. Alscare here would be wonderful if this were day one. He'd someone we could do something with, but not now. Not quite there. All right, ammo here is unfortunately expensive. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. That's funny because we're using handguns, so bullets are one of the things that we're, anyway. We'll bite the bullet and we'll buy a little ammo. Just 2 of the 3, I'm not buying all 3. A little bit of tools, just a little bit of food. If we're gonna raid some caravans, which I plan on, there's a decent chance at food. You know, there's a pig farm in Horn, got goat pens in Gemmenborg. I guess that would be a supply cavern if it was anything. But yeah, so let's travel along the roads and raid. We can still do a little map exploration while we do it though. So let's see what's north of Horn. Caravan passed through here. Lovely. Let's see. Ah, this caravan is a house we want to remain good relations with, so we'll leave it. but we'll fight some barbarians. We'll start out with spear walls and see what we can clear off. Nice shooting, Nick's larps. Nice shot, Akibio. For a pretty easy thrall fight, we did take a bit of damage. Not too bad, but there's a tools and slight hit point cost associated with this fight that, you know, wasn't great. I wonder if I should take this guy out. I don't know. I suppose he's fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, final overdrive, spear duelist. Dang it. See, unfortunately, see these bots. I changed my rules to only do accounts that were created, you know, no one who's had an account within the last, it was originally 1 week, but I changed it to month can chat, which I hate doing because if someone's, you know, I don't know, whatever, if it's a real person, I want them to be able to. But it looks like these are all compromised accounts because like that bot that I just banned, nobody interact with it. But that account was created in 2020. So I know it's just some compromised account. Either that or spammers playing the long game. But they all have like, they look real, I guess. Or like they were once upon a time. It's too bad. Anyway, I'm not sure the best way of getting rid of them. I set the rule where you have to click to agree to the rules, which is just like, don't be a jerk, basically. Respect everyone. So they, obviously, whatever, those spam bots, they like click through that or they're able to bypass it or, you know, whatever. And they're older accounts, so I don't know. I don't know if other people have that problem. Or maybe they target like smaller streamers, people desperate for views. I personally, like, I'm happy with the people who want to be here. I don't give a shit about, anyway, whatever. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I hate the bots. They annoy me. But I feel obligated to ban them. Because I hate them. Anyway, final overdrive here is blessed with riches in this level up. Thanks, Blackfire. Doing my best, keeping the world clean. Whatever low-level custodial work I can do to improve the internet for everyone, I will do. It's like picking up litter, you know? You see the candy wrapper as you're walking, you pick it up, you put it in the bin. That's what I'm doing to these bots. They're in most of the small stream small stream chats. Dang. Well, that's disappointing. I understand why, though. Anyway, here, do I bother with more resolve? 53 is about, it's close to about where I want this build to end up with. Around 55 is pretty close to a good final target, I think. So should I just take hit points? I think probably yes. I don't think we need any more fatigue. 114 I think will be all we'll need. If I took fatigue, that would help unlock other secondaries that might be good, like cleaver, and I could get an orc cleaver, even though I have it's one of the weapons I've spoken ill of previously, but it would be a decent backup weapon for a build like this. Actually, it'd be excellent. I hate to admit it. So I'll still go hit points here on this level. And I definitely want to make sure these bros all have Pathfinder. That'll help a lot against goblins in particular. So we'll go ahead and just take it. Stand for the recover value. Good. Trading caravan. We're all about that trading caravan raiding lifestyle. We, the real Northern Raiders now. Oops. I don't think I clicked on the hex I meant to. Kibio, you can't miss like that. We don't pay to miss. Yeah, do like Nixlarks there. See, this poor bot. That's definitely someone who used to be a real person. They're all zombies now. Such a shame. And we got some ham. We're eating good tonight. Filthy peasants. We'll pass the first turn. They're all armed though. They all have weapons. Look at them. They picked up some sticks off the ground, ready to defend themselves. Honorable fight. That's right. Also, hello, octopus boyfriend. Not just anyone's octopus boyfriend. My octopus boyfriend. They were carrying bread and money. You love to see it. We'll take pocket change. I'm not above that. Alright, so we're heading north. We're heading into Barbarian Land. This can be an opportunity to get some improved throwing weapons. So these fights against small packs of Reavers are great for us right now. Yeah, let's get Next Larfs on some high ground here. Hey, got him. Reavers have anticipation, if you recall correctly. I believe that is correct. I think they do indeed have anticipation. Reavers have anticipation and Chosen have underdog. Two perks that it's good to know about when strategizing. Even Reavers have underdog? Do they? Are you sure? I don't think they do. They might though. Let's look. They do. They do have it. You are correct. Good call, your octopus boyfriend. For some reason, I didn't think that they did. I'm trying to think of if I just never checked or if I at one point believed the wrong thing and just sort of stuck with it. I'm not sure. But in any case, yeah, they do have a... Hey, Final Overdrive. You are carrying this team, by the way. Final Overdrive here is very kitted out, too. Has the finest of the finest gear the team's got to offer. Bundle of heavy javelins, bundle of heavy throwing axes. Wonderful. But yeah, Final Overdrive, you hit level 9. Rockin' and rollin'. Between Friso and Final Overdrive, the team's got a bright future. Yeah, cruising along. Cruising indeed. So, I always think to myself, are the heavy throwing axes worth using over regular javelins? And I always conclude the answer is no. But I always like look and think about it. But they're not. So we won't use them. Black Fire leveling up. Let's see. We'll probably take the +3 in resolve here. This is a build that's going to want some decent resolve. So let's go ahead and get it. It's a build that will also definitely need Pathfinder. So we'll take that as well. And that's the level up there. Black Fire looking real good. That's going to be some beautiful melee defense once fully leveled up. Rusty Jabs better than Jabs against either heavy. Oh yeah, Rusty Jabs are better than... Rusty Jabs are like just... You know, the heavy jabs. Even though, yeah, they look rusty. They're better than everything. But Rusty Axe is better than normal jabs against either heavy armor or spooky, scary versions. You mean like champions? Are you sure about that, though? I suspect... I mean, it kind of depends. Like, they strip more armor, so maybe they're better as part of an overall package. But I think if you were to look at, like, hits to kill in isolation, I bet the javelins still come out higher. The real wild card is the additional chance to hit head. It's a pretty small additional chance to hit head, though. But I think the 45% of damage ignores armor on the vanilla javelins is just gonna be too much. I don't know that, but it seems pretty likely that the regular jabs would outperform heavy throwing axes against most enemies. And I think that's probably true both with and without Duelist. But I don't know. It's just speculation. I'd have to run the numbers to be 100% convinced. An armored unhold wandering around. I do have the Turtle Combat Simulator, so I can run such simulations of weapons against enemies in a vacuum using the, you know, way combat is done in the game. Very handy tool. Rusty Axes kill heavily armored Chosen, Honor Guard, and Orc Warriors in less hits than regular jabs, as far as I know. Yeah, okay. I think I agree with... I could see all three of those. The noises the dogs make when they die makes you sad. Yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah, that specific set of enemies, your octopus boyfriend, I think that makes sense. But yeah, especially against Ancient Dead, obviously. Ancient Dead, definitely, you gotta pull out the heavy rusty axes, for sure. Are javelins just generally more accurate than throwing axes, or something? Well, so the heavy, rusty versions, or I think it's just heavy, even though the other barbarian weapons say rusty. Anyway, the heavy weapons are less accurate, though that isn't, it doesn't matter whether they're the axes or javelins. Axes and javelins have the same accuracy, I'm pretty sure. Alright, that guy is making it off free. But yeah, you can see when you hover over the heavy throwing weapons, down the fourth line down from, you know, the icons, has an additional minus 5% chance to hit. So they are slightly less accurate than regular, you know, their non-heavy counterpart. But it's just the heavy throwing weapons. This one, it's the fifth line down. But throwing weapons are already pretty accurate by default, so... Boy, one armored unhold is actually like asking for injuries, and I have pretty bad weapons against armored enemies right now. That armored unhold, I like... actually might be kind of annoying to fight. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because I want to fight these Reavers. Good, he's not the... There's like two versions of the armored unhold. One of them is like totally kitted out in armor. Okay, rude. It's actually like a slightly sketchy fight. It'll be fine, but yeah, slightly sketchy. Let's get a gunner right here. And we'll occupy the unhold in melee. Nice shot of Kibio. Maybe I'll get the other gunner here. Is that too dangerous of a spot? He says as he just moves there. Oh, Friso does not have Pathfinder. So someone can engage him in melee. All these throwing weapons, I suppose I just gotta close the gap and give him a little gentle stab. Sir Humpert's a little rough. Fairly sure. Yeah, Sir Humpert's got 9 lives. So, he's not gonna fall down to 0 anyway, but even if he did, he would be okay. Regardless, let him bleed out over there. We don't want any random whip attacks to hit him. Being a Final Fantasy X fan, you ever get into Dragon Quest? They're doing a 2D/HD remake of Dragon Quest III coming out soonish. I did not get into Dragon Quest, but that is, I've heard good things. It's just not something that I've checked out. That is exciting though. You know, we're living in kind of a golden era of remakes, and some of them are awesome and they do a great job, and some of them, they do a terrible job. Some of them are like highly criticized because they're so beloved games, even though the remasters are fine. That's my take on the Final Fantasy X remake. People like really criticize the slightly changed like textures of some of the models. I think they look fine. But Final Fantasy X is one that people talk about the remaster negatively sometimes, but I think it's still good. Alright, Hartbert here has hit level 5, where we would take crossbow and firearm mastery, but we don't yet have a handgun for him. If we had a crossbow, we would just give him that, but we don't even have one of those. Slurgy has milk toast taste drink. Yeah. So Dragon Quest III must be your standard JRPG with Akira Toriyama doing character designs, really highly valued franchise. You love Final Fantasy X. Fantasy X-2 Remake, getting the International Sphere Grid was awesome. The textures were just a little okayish, but I love that game so much it didn't bother me. Yeah, that's how I felt. The International Sphere Grid, though, I did one playthrough on the International Sphere Grid, and I don't know if it was nostalgia, but I didn't like the characters having freedom. I don't know, Orin being fast in the early game, or Kimari just kind of doing whatever. I don't know, it felt weird to me. I like the specialized roles. So the one playthrough I did with the International Sphere Grid felt meh. I didn't I didn't enjoy my experience, I guess, with it. Okay, so what perks should I take here if I don't take Crossbow Firearm Mastery? Could just be Quick Hands. We know he will want that. That's also kind of wasted at the moment, but... Ooh, you're gonna say something controversial. Let's hear it. You don't like Final Fantasy? No, that's okay. Not every game or game franchise is for everyone. That is a totally valid take. But yeah, you can get Kimahri Steel and use kind of early, even with the regular sphere grid. You just have to hang out near like a level 2 key sphere, something like that. Ooh, got shots fired. So here on Heartbird, I'm deciding between the hit points and resolve here. I think I might take the hit points, given that it's a +5. Boy, you know, Sir Humbert, I was gonna just swap out his armor, but he kind of needs to just sit out. He needs to take a breather. We'll put Theobald in. Even though he's got this broken elbow joint. Very sad. Like most JRPGs, you either love them or hate them. Yeah. So I thought about setting up, when I was looking at doing little cute animations and stream elements like blah blah blah, just followed or subscribed. I ultimately decided against it because I don't know. It feels tacky. Anyway, I thought about doing the little Final Fantasy Tactics little level up, like a little GIF that pops up. I even started making it and then decided not to complete it. But I love Final Fantasy Tactics. That's a great game. That's probably, having played Final Fantasy Tactics is a big reason why I think I even really gave this game a shot, even though they're actually quite different from each other. Yeah. I mean, I have to imagine that Final Fantasy Tactics and Battle Brothers do have at least some overlap in their fan bases. That is not surprising to me. Yeah, that and Fire Emblem, for sure. Though Fire Emblem was one I never really got into. I can't even remember which one I played. It was an old one. It was like, I want to say it was for the SNES. And it, for whatever reason, just didn't click for me. And I don't know why, and I don't remember what game it was. I'm sure I could figure it out. This is a somewhat cheap Oath Taker. Not really cheap, but a little bit cheap. And an Oath Taker is very likely to be one of our spear duelists. What are we looking for? I guess that's the question I need to ask myself. I want one more spear duelist. Since we, unless we can find a water skin for Theobald, then he's, you know, back in. But even him as a backup would be fine. You started with Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem, fell in love, and then just branched into Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and fell down strategy game rabbit hole. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That's a good route. Boy, should I get Eugen? Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Yeah, affordable Oath Taker. Sometimes they're expensive though, just because of their gear, and sometimes the gear is worth the price tag. So yeah, this guy is affordable. He comes with a great axe. That's part of his purchase price. If he had something, you know, a little less fancy, he'd be cheaper. So yeah, let's think about, so when thinking about strategy decisions, I should think about like, what is it that I'm looking for? So this guy's gonna be a frontline gunner despite what he looks like. I'm looking at replacing Eberhard and Heimrad, one of them with a spear duelist, basically right where Heimrad is standing, and that'll probably be basically the formation that I'm gonna go into battle with as well. I think this, for most typical use case, I think is about right. And then here, Eberhard can be, you know, I don't know, the sweeper in soccer, the libero in volleyball, the whatever, the wild card slot. Could be another ranged bro of sorts, like a duelist, thrower. Could be a forge tank, if I wanted to make one of those, that gets a lone wolf and runs off. It's a nice tool for Monolith, but it's useful in other fights too, even with this particular company. So from that perspective, the Oath Taker really only fills one of those, potentially. And does an okay job at it. They're a little light on fatigue, which is actually one of the things that role kind of needs. So even though I love Oath Takers, I wonder if an Oath Taker isn't quite right. They also make incredible banners. If I wanted to replace Adler. He's not very good. I think I'm gonna pass on hiring the Oath Taker for now. I think I might rather have a card upgrade for now. We'll revisit potentially recruiting an Oath Taker later, but I think I'm gonna hold off for the moment. All right, let's see where this road is going. See if this is just dead ending in a workshop. It is. Okay. So I can head down along the road to look for caravans. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the other thing too is if I were to purchase him, I'd be nearly broke. Like, I'd have to find an additional source of income within just a couple days, and I don't want to go quite that low. I'm gonna say everything just a little bit like this. Anyway, yeah, I think it's not quite there, though. Generally speaking, for most companies, most of the time, I love Oath Takers. They're great. Yeah, financially sustainable. You know, I'm not going to the paycheck advance. I'm not paying off credit card A with credit card B. All right, so we're gonna go along this road. I might, ooh, what do we have here? Oh, ho, ho. Some mercenaries. I just want to pawn your baby for some crack. Incredible. Let's fight these mercs. King's End Company is about to meet its end. Mercenaries sometimes come with some fun gear. This all looks really boring. A lot of pole weapons, though. So there's really no benefit to spear walling in this particular fight, like at all. So we're just gonna get on in there. Not a lot of hats? True, not a lot of hats. These are like the brigands of mercenaries or something like that. The crossbow there, and actually might be kind of nice to have. Nice throw, Next Lives. Good boy. No. I just said I wanted that crossbow, sir. Can I get a dog there in time? Maybe? There's one. Let me get on the other one. Time up, doggies. There we go. Hopefully they don't hurt the dogs. This guy now no longer will. He'll attack Final Overdrive instead. Joke's on him. Final Overdrive, very evasive. Brand of the War Dog has fallen. It is funny how, and don't get me wrong, I feel the same way. It's funny how when humans die in this game, it's like not that sad. But when the dogs die, it's like really tragic. I don't understand what dogs have done to our brains to make us dumb. Maybe not dumb. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean. We're so tuned into the needs of dogs, at least as a person who has a couple dogs who are delightful. Little Susie and Mango. When the dogs die or get hurt, it like matters. I don't know. They are the goodest of boys, exactly. Well, we didn't even get the crossbow. It was a pretty boring set of loot, but you know what? They had lots of crowns and tools and other such things. Yeah, you like make the dogs fight, the brothers choose to. Maybe that's part of it. The dogs never had a choice. Though, with some of the brothers' backgrounds, it almost seems like some of them don't have a choice either. Okay. Unexpected mercenary fight. Kind of fun. There's a study about how humans are more sympathetic towards animals such as dogs than other humans. Yeah, it's a funny thing. I don't know why that is. Ooh, a supply caravan. Lovely. Let's fight it. Okay, so I think my strategy here is going to be to shooting back up. And I'm gonna swap the Spear Bros to different weapons. At least some of them. Theobald, I think I'll leave him as he is. So they've all passed the turn, so I can just do this again. Seems good. Totally happy to play this song and dance. They have to close the gap eventually, otherwise they're gonna get wrecked. R-E-K-T. If they're gonna choose to be this cautious, they're gonna pay for it. Hey, good night, Blackfire. They do have weapon mastery, so I guess this guy will be able to attack next turn. So I could move forward. It would be an okay time to do that. Actually, let's go up this way. Make a bit of room. Okay, this time I think they will properly go forward. I have to imagine. Maybe? There we go. Still a pretty good handgun shot right here. 69, nice. Does Nick's lives have? He does. He's a gunner. Should have thrown a jav before starting moving him. Oh well. Theobald is kind of getting it rough. Theobald winning the water skin race, yeah. He's about to get 2 injuries, but no, he's good. He's just, you know, taking a little damage, just for fun, just for funsies, you know. Not bad loot, stuff that sells well. Now I do have the option, if I want, of putting the military pick on the shield fatigue neutrals. That is kind of the plan long term, I think, is going to be hammer mastery. A warhammer is way better than the military pick. 20 to 35 is pretty pitiful. However, the guaranteed 10 hit point damage is pretty nice. And they do strip a lot of armor, despite the low damage range. Yeah, I think we'll do it. We'll put military picks on. I have never in any run had a bro that looked like this. Nothing like this particular setup has ever existed on so many dimensions. But the hat is shiny, and the shield's working good, and the military pick is ready. It'll be good against armored foes, which, you know, right now the other members of the team are lacking. So they'll pick up the slack in that regard. We've got a couple flat top with mail helmets. I don't know that I need that anywhere. I could keep one as a backup. I think that seems okay. You like hammers on your tanks personally? Interesting. Sarcasm? I mean, they're like heavy for no reason. You thought last run's abominations were bad. You know what's weird is last run's abominations were good. I was really happy with how they ended up performing in the end. They even the build even worked. That's the weird part. All right, we'll take a look before the next fight if Sir Humpert needs to swap some armors or if those heal up enough. I could put a flat top with mail here, but nasal helmet with mail is close enough, I think. Trash adapters are going to become an iconic build, just wait. I mean, it works pretty well. I wouldn't put it past me to run that one again. I have a feeling the trash adapter will make a return. If my very final run has like a little bit of piece, a little piece from each run, it'll be like the finale to a JRPG, where all the little people you helped along the way like send one individual unit to the battlefield to defeat the final boss, who of course is like a literal god. That would be fun. Alright, we're looking for more caravans to raid. Let's get to this fork in the road. Keep dreaming. We'll see what happens. It's quite the entourage there. I suppose most likely path for caravans that I'm going to raid is going to be south, so we can even stop by Jungholes here. Ooh. The first Schachtheim Company. Many footmen, some billmen, a few arbalesters, a standard bearer, and a war dog. It feels a little early to be taking on noble armies. But not out of the question. Let's move Sir Humpert to the edge here. We'll have to be careful with him. It's a slightly sketchy fight to be taking. Not totally sketchy, just a little sketchy. Let's take a look at it again. The few arbalesters are a little frightening. So it's a true fighting force of 14 plus a dog. And they'll have the standard bearer. So won't win with resolve. I think we can just barely do this. I think it's okay. Let's get a net here. And let's put a net here. That's not a net. That's a net. And do I want to fight them at day or at night? I'm actually kind of not sure. They have a few arbalesters after all. I think night is fine. Okay. Sorry if you hate the sounds of knuckles cracking. I just probably was your worst nightmare there. I don't like where that war dog went. So if I put a Kibio here, he could fire and hit 6. Can put the shield fatigue neutrals in somewhat more dangerous positions. Fill in the gaps with the others. Yeah, Arbalesters be gentle. No kidding. They will move shortly after Akibio, so he should probably have shield cover. I think almost for sure with this tree here. No matter where the Arbalesters are. Kind of abandoning Sir Humpert here. But only kind of. We can have XJI7 help out. I think I've got a plan. And then Friso's gonna back up a smidge in Spear Wall to force them to sort of waste their turn, next turn on the approach, where they'll shield wall before they move in. Not much of a waste, because, you know, they'll have shield wall up, but good shot, Akibio. So I guess if I'm going to do it like that, maybe I move both of the fatigue neutrals just right up here and here. Then maybe Final Overdrive helps out down here. It's a lot of resources down at the bottom. So then XGI goes up. Yeah, that seems okay. Two military picks to the head. Kind of cool. Where do I want Heimrad to go? Maybe he just stays exactly where he is? No, he'll go like here. There's the standard bearer. There's the Arbalesters. Oh, this guy's... I see. Right, Friso is fast. He's before Eberhard. That matters to me. It's going to put Nixlarfs in a more dangerous position than I would have liked. But maybe that's okay if I net this guy? Probably. Is this too dangerous of a hex for Adler? Okay, actually a pretty decent opening turn, and this will be a really nice overwhelm. Despite the somewhat low damage there from that attack because of the nighttime misses, we got overwhelm on a lot of enemies that we do want it on for this round. Ow. So Friso I might want to just have move up and engage. The gunners are in a really good spot. Let's just engage their melee dudes to keep it that way. Okay, you're overwhelmed, sir. You're supposed to miss. Hello? Sir, you're overwhelmed? You're supposed to miss? No. Still pretty low chance to hit. They're just too skilled. Duelist on the spears looks relevant in this kind of fight. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Duelist is pretty good against noble armies. The military pick. Not the best of weapons. Let's get Alpha right here in the center. I did get... yeah, he does have underdog, so... screw it. Let's get in there. Kinda need to bail out Blackfire. So we are gonna blast Alpha, unfortunately. Well, we don't have to. We could just go here. Never mind. Yeah, Sir Humpert. Still need to be a little bit careful with. Eberhard, I think I can move up a bit more aggressively though. It's sort of a wasted turn, but I might put Heimrad here. Just so this specific footman can't occupy this hex. Because I don't want Blackfire to get any more people surrounding him. Got a puncture. So to shoot here or here? I guess here. Cool. This might be a finishing blow. Or a miss. One or the other. Cool. Blackfire is set free. Might do the split attack. Yeah, take out the Arbalaster. It worked. Cool. was just saying how I was like trying to break Blackfire free from surrounds, but now I might push him forward. For better surround bonuses on all these footmen. They're isolated, which is lovely. Let's get him here. Nice, the dog got in melee range with the Arbalester. Cool. Well, this fight actually went really well in the end. Yeah, that went really smooth, actually. All right. Cool. And we did get a crossbow, which, as previously mentioned, is relevant, actually. Because we've got Heartbert here, who, you know, we're going to get firearm mastery, which just comes with crossbow mastery. That's how I see it anyway. So we'll move a large powder bag over onto one of the mules. And we'll give him a gun. And a quiver of bolts. He does not yet have crossbow and firearm mastery, but we can get it next turn. And it'll make the crossbow substantially more effective. We could also give XJI 7 a crossbow if we wanted. I think I'm happy to just leave him with the bundle of heavy jabs. I think that's good. I think I've already got enough arming swords and other things allocated on all the bros that want it or need it. We can give Akibio a reach weapon. I think that'll actually be super useful. We'll eventually get mastery of some two-handed weapon, and we'll have him use the reach version of the other one. Adler, the banner, leveled up. He still sucks. But you know what? He's our sucky boy. That sounded wrong. If I care about him enough to keep him alive, do I give him 9 lives? So last 3 perks with Adler, because his stats are pretty middling, might just be 9 lives. Quick hands, bags and belts, turn him into a sort of utility bro, so he can have smoke pot and fire pot and flash pot and nets, things like that. That's probably what I'll do. So then we can grab 9 lives on this level, and that would be fine. Alright, I'm convinced. So, I need to get to a place to sell stuff, because I got all this noble equipment that I need to get rid of. So I could head over back here to Fernsichtfeste. Say that 5 times fast. Or I could head down south to like Hildenbrand. I think I like that better. Heldenbrand? Whatever. Webnecks pass through here. We could fight Webnecks. The ruins of Orkbane Keep, we could also fight that. We're a little bit scuffed. We've got replacement armors that we can set up the team with. If I do that, how are we looking? This needs to be replaced temporarily. Okay, so I'm mostly fixed up here. I think we can do it. Let's do it. Oof, obnoxious terrain. At least we've got like a little mini hill here. But given that they have marksmen, they are certainly going to be happy to... Boy, what a beautiful little spear wall spot. Good for them. Could get Blackfire all the way up there. I think Alpha also has Pathfinder, right? Yeah. Alpha's probably the smarter one to put in the dangerous spot, considering he's got better armor right now. So I could send Blackfire here. Balthazar the Toothless. He's got a military cleaver. That might be nice with Duelist on our throwers. You forgot to explain the hammers on tanks thing. Yeah, it's only when they start with a good melee attack and depends on the fight. But if you plan on having them hit instead of shield walling, you like hammers the best. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. So from the perspective of, you're gonna have a weapon to accompany with a shield. Yeah, if you're gonna have a weapon plus a shield, hammers are best. I agree with that. Any other weapon plus shield setup just ends up too anemic when it comes to damage. You put them against difficult opponents, often big armor, and hammers are a great setup. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah, I could see it. The problem is, most of the time, at least for me, my dedicated tanks never have very good melee attack. Almost never. And because I don't invest in it either, because I feel like I always need some combination of melee defense, hit points, fatigue, and resolve. And since I need so many of all of those, it's hard to, you know, justify not just leveling up those in particular. Boy, this Brigand Raider with this spear is legit a problem. Like, that's such a great little high ground hex. That's actually like actually hard for me to get through. He's not an upper raider, so he doesn't have weapon masteries. So if I get one of my shield bros in there, everyone else can follow suit. I know he's not an upper raider because he's got a headscarf on. So let's see if Blackfire can get in there. Haha. You've had pretty nutty farmhand tanks that started with insane secondaries, so probably recency bias. Yeah. Well, you need so many stats on a tank, it seems. Wow, 5% chance to hit? That's pretty bad. Ooh, took out that raider into the backlines. Alright, yeah, let's get off of here. Oh, he does have weapon mastery. He is an upper raider. Well, I lied. Unless lower raiders don't have any masteries, right? I didn't think that... Yeah, so he definitely is a upper or regular brigand raider. Well, there you go. I thought that they couldn't spawn with just the simple headscarf. But that is pretty advanced, you know. That's pretty advanced helmets for a raider. Because it's any helmet. That's my favorite death sound effect. That it's very funny to me. Alright, let's get Friso in melee range there. Balthazar the Toothless coming out to play. Doesn't have teeth, does have a cleaver. That poor tower shield is nearly fully taken apart. I have to imagine, based on the number of shield attacks that it's been subjected to. Got there eventually. It was a literal uphill battle, after all. Okay. Nice little fight. Military cleaver, we might make use of that. That could be a good sort of stopgap weapon before we maybe even use a real cleaver. That's right. Slurgy endorsing cleavers. A rare sight, but it's where I'm at. Alright, so let's get rid of some of the less expensive weapons. Most of these actually have decent value, is the tricky thing. I probably have more food than I need. Especially single-digit stacks of food, I think I can pretty safely get rid of. The shields aren't worth too much, or at least the regular shields. I want that axe. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to get the cart upgrade for sure. For sure. Alright, that's probably good enough. Okay. Eberhard, soon to be replaced, but for now, he remains relevant. Let's get him Pathfinder. Fights like that demonstrate how it can be very, very useful. Oh no. Pessimists. Friso, the spear duelist, is moping around, wallowing in victory as good as any pissy pessimist could. He throws a dismissive hand out. Boy. He made 2 of our benchwarmers dissatisfied. Unnecessary, Friso. Unnecessary. No es necesito, Friso. Weird group of briggies here. Looks like they're coming towards the road, so we can fight them. I could get the cart upgrade right now before this fight, actually. And maybe should have before that last one. Boom. Maybe should have done that before that previous fight. But this will be fine too. Oh, excuse me. There's a decent chance of just finishing this guy off. Ooh, it was close. That's right, final overdrive. Can't be hit. He's a pessimist. He's very evasive. Ooh, good attack there. Took that guy's head clean off. Get him, dog. Okay. Simple, easy fight, and I've got spots for their stuff in my cart, like this leather lamellar armor and padded leather that are untouched. So that's kind of neat. You can tell because of the way it is. So these worn mail shirts are a lot less useful as far as backup armors, so I can probably discard that. This mail shirt is also not particularly useful. A little bit too heavy for any nimble setups. So, cool. Nyx Larfs has leveled up. Lovely. Do I take the +4? He might not need it. So he's at 119 now after gear, which is pretty fast. I'll probably still want one more level up. What all still missing? So he needs Fearsome, he needs Pathfinder, and once he has Fearsome and Pathfinder, he's got one more perk to spare. So we'll hold off on determining exactly what that'll be. What do I want first? They're both really good for this particular build. Pathfinder, because getting to that perfect hex is very important, but Fearsome is also incredibly good on a gunner because you can apply Fearsome to 6 enemies at once, which is insane. Let's go Fearsome. I don't want him to be worthless in melee. I want him to be able to hold his ground, hold his own. Yo, 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 Akibio. You're still crushing it, by the way. The frontline gunner is off and running. You've even got a counterpart. Another sellsword, frontline gunner. On the other side of the formation. Hey, and thank you for the subscription. Yeah, you're still alive. You're alive and crushing it. In fact, we just fought a small noble army. There were 15 enemies, 14 humans, 1 dog, which is a pretty, day 49, that's, I think, fairly early, at least with slow, careful play, to be fighting that kind of enemy. But we did, and the guns were a big part of that success, which was great. Alright, I think as a backup weapon on one of these duelists, let's get a cleaver. Military cleaver is not a bad weapon. Some brigand marksmen and some raiders. That'll be a good fight for us to take as well. Boom. Looks like some of them aren't bringing helmets into battle. Not a good idea. You should always go into battle with a helmet. Pretty good handgun blast already for next turn, if I want it, or this turn if I want it as well. Wait, do you play PoE as well? Oh yeah, I have a, oh yeah, I forgot I didn't even realize I had this shirt on. I haven't played PoE for several years, but I played PoE very early on in its life cycle, and I really enjoyed it. PoE has become something, PoE 1, I should say, because they're working on a sequel. PoE 1 has become a game that doesn't quite interest me in its current state, but I'm still following Grinding Gear's development of PoE 2, and I'm excited for it. So, nice. Yeah, I played like 5 or 6 leagues as well, very early on, like before 1.0 even. I played when there was only Act 1 and Act 2, and I liked it. And I had some truly terrible builds, or at least they would be terrible by today's standard. But I had a lot of fun with them. I didn't expect that guy to push all the way to melee range there. You're regrettably a bit of a no-lifer for a bit on PoE, so you have some ridiculous characters. Nice. If you're gonna be a no-lifer in any game, it's a good game for it. Like, you can commit a lot of time to that game if you put your mind to it. Very easy to do. So yeah, I did one of their supporter packs for Ascendancy when they first introduced Ascendancies, because I thought that sounded really cool. I still think it's kind of cool, actually. And the supporter pack came with a t-shirt. Boom. You thought he was just a gunner. No, no. Akibio pulls out the giant great axe. It says otherwise. You eventually realized you were treating it like a job, but you weren't getting paid. Yikes. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the way I approach video games, and I've done this my whole life, for better or for worse. This isn't a way of living your life I'd recommend, but I've always treated them as a higher priority than work or school or anything that I've been doing in my life. And in fact, I basically do those other things merely as a means to an end to play more video games. It's what I was like as a very young child with Nintendo games, and I still, you know, graduated from university, got to be a pretty good programmer, got some good jobs, had some really good jobs actually, out of college, started a career, built some big important software tools for some major companies, and also that I could just play more video games. Truly the DJ, yeah, aspirational, degenerate goals. That's what I seek to represent. I optimize my free time very weirdly around video games. Not even just video games though, like I just really highly value my free time generally, so even like time with friends, things like that. Like I'm actually a very social person too, despite how it may seem. But I also like hyper optimize that. That one is easy to take too far. My wife does not play games. No, I mean, she knew what she was getting into. Early on in our relationship, I was heavily steeped into grinding games of Dota. And she's we're very supportive of each other's hobbies. So it doesn't really get in the way at all. At least I don't think so. You optimize your life for your drinking habit? Oh no. I hope not. I hope that's not. If that's a statement made in earnest, I hope that you seek out Alcoholics Anonymous and try to get it sorted. All right, we're gonna get Pathfinder here on Friso. I think that'll be pretty excellent. Akibio, frontline gunner. As previously mentioned, we're gonna skip the low rolls in any of our primary stats to shore up the secondaries. Both hit points and a certain amount of fatigue will be required for the build to function well. I'm lightly leaning towards fatigue. Because I can avoid taking Brawny, basically. And if I get up to like 106, that's probably good enough for the whole game to get some good handgun shots out. So let's do it. Perk selection here. Pathfinder looks pretty good. Underdog and Battleforge will both eventually be taken. They're not really necessary now. Oh my goodness. Speaking of relationships, I just dropped my wedding ring because I was playing with it. We were married fairly recently, just this past summer, so I still fiddle with it. I don't know. I don't know if that's... I'm assuming that's a habit I'll get over. We'll see. Sir Humpert. Similar story here. We want a little bit more fatigue to be functional, but maybe this is enough. Let's get some more hit points, maybe. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it was a lovely wedding. Absolutely beautiful, picture-perfect day. We had quite a lot of people there because over the course of our lives, we've picked up a lot of good friends. So we were gonna originally try to make it a small wedding, and it didn't end up being a small wedding. But we DIY'd all of the wedding decorations, almost all of them, and put a lot of work into making it like just the best party, and it was awesome. And I think everyone had fun. It was full of levity, joy, celebration of love. It was just a great day. Yeah, it is crazy. I honestly, when people started having kids, that was wild to me. But that's not, you know, I don't know. I don't think kids are something I'm interested in. Not sure how to say it any other way. This build might want a little bit of fatigue as well. I can't believe I'm saying this, you know. Almost all of these builds require decent amounts of fatigue, which is nuts, because I'm so anti-fatigue generally. The trash adapter is a build that, in particular, needs like no fatigue from the last run with Peasant Militia. Can't optimize for video games with kids? Exactly. That is exactly right. I've seen some of my good friends who have kids have their video game time ruined. And I simply won't have that. All right, I might circle back for Pathfinder here on XGI 7. And then, so we're gonna get 2 perks yet remaining. I think among them will be Berserk, Killing Frenzy, and Fearsome in some combination. This build might end up not taking Fearsome. I might leave Fearsome duties for others. This guy is just going to be a finisher, perhaps. What role do I play in Dota? Mostly support. I mostly play 4 and 5. Always have mostly played that, though I play a few heroes in the other positions as necessary. Though some of the heroes that I really like in those positions are particularly bad right now. I used to play a lot of Spectre. A lot of Spectre, but Spectre is kind of garbage right now. Though I did play a Spectre game earlier. That was kind of fun. I don't like the way they reworked her kit. It's a personal problem. Alright, we've got ambush trader routes here, so this is a great town to sell stuff in. Find Red River Manor. That's a fun camp name. I don't feel like that's a weird camp name. But yeah, I also in Dota way back in the day I used to play Tinker mid. And by way back in the day I mean like Warcraft 3 Dota. I did that. And I like how they've reworked Tinker. Playing Tinker as a support where I'm like teleporting all over the map, laying down March of the Machines, and just like spamming shields and stuff like that on my allies is actually a really fun playstyle. So I've been having fun, regrettably, been having a lot of fun with Dota recently. All right, I'm gonna put a couple specialized shields on my mules back here. Nice. Lion, Witch Doctor, Shadow Shaman. Those are good ones. Oh no. Manifest Destiny's Child outlining one of the main problems with the game overall. Stated succinctly. Yeah, he's no longer a problem snowball mid laner. They took away rockets. They replaced rockets with like a shield. A barrier that's a little bit like Abaddon's, only it doesn't blow up. And also gives status resistance, which is pretty sweet. I took a 4-year break from Dota. 4 years. And now I'm back playing it again. Kinda can't believe it. Yeah, he's a good lane pusher, but he's really not great as a core. Wow, that is a cheap sellsword. Do I pick up another sellsword? He's essentially better Nature's Prophet. Kind of, only he doesn't have the pushing power. Yeah, there have been so many cheap sellswords. Let's take a look at the tavern rumors. Deserted towers on the hills to the west of here. And this is Red River Manor to the west. Sounds like to the west there's stuff. Good to know. Wolf's Wall's having a feast. The Outcasts burrow some way north. Probably in here somewhere, I guess. Do we really need another frontline gunner? I mean, need? No. Want? Here's the deal. We've got one flex position that could be another hybrid. I mean, oops all guns, you know? A sellsword could just be a straight frontliner, though. You never know with a sellsword. He's so cheap. Coming at level 2. Let's take a peek. Let's see what he's like. Okay. Well, I think we probably have our last frontline spear bro. His fatigue will need to be propped up a little. But 66 melee attack, that's great. 11 melee defense, that's great. Yeah, he's just a frontliner. 49 range skill is good, right? I mean, he's... I don't think Heartburt had much better than that. But that's okay. 66 melee skill, I think, is that's what's really great. I know, yeah, disloyal team player, that is weird. You'd almost think that those two would be mutually exclusive, right? Alright, we'll get this guy a spear. He's gonna be terrible at spear walling reliably for a little bit here. Could give him a shield, just for now. Boy, that maybe feels bad, but maybe it's okay. If we're gonna put him on the front line, we kinda gotta keep him safe, huh? Heimrad, you're back to just being a mule. You work hard for the team, but if it sucks, you'll quit. Honestly, I guess when you put it that way, I suppose I kind of operate much the same way. Rupert the Impaler. I like the Impaler. That's great. It's like Vlad the Impaler. And even though he's got hit point talent stars, you know, starting 50, he low rolled there. So Yeah, he kind of low-rolled most of his secondaries, actually. But mostly just high-rolled this melee skill. So he'll be good. And let's just get 9 lives as his first level, especially since we're putting him on the front lines. Spear Duelist. Boom. Let's see. Oh, apparently I'm not putting a space between those words. Cool. So we got Spear Duelist, Frontline Gunner, Spear Duelist, Fatigue Neutral with Shield, Fatigue Neutral with Shield, Spear Duelist, Frontline Gunner, Spear Duelist. Then we have Fine Pole, who's going to get replaced. He's on the chopping block to be... yeah, replaced. Nyx Larfs, the Overwhelm Initiative hybrid. Even though he's almost turning out to be more of a pure ranged with 64 melee skill. Adler, who I initially was thinking maybe I could replace, but the banner's the banner, you know? He's gonna stick around, and we'll make him kind of a utility build. We'll take Quick Hands and Bags and Belts, I think, with the next 2 levels. Also lets us get a better pole arm that we can swap to if we need to. And then XJI-7, who is gonna be a murdering machine with throwing weapons. Should be a pretty cool squad, I think. I also think this is a pretty good point for me to call it. I started slightly later than normal, unfortunately. I wonder if there's any people checking out the new Reforged mod. There is! This is something that I might check out after this particular run, after Poachers, because I'm, I don't know, curious about it. But we'll see. Some of the stuff I've read, I've become skeptical, but we'll check them out. Well, to all of you, have yourself a wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Have a lovely day or night. Ta-ta.